Now, this assault recently started on Saturday, but this war did not start on October 7. Palestinians for decades have been killed. Their homes have been taken from them. They're waiting for a resolution. They're dying with a lot of silence from humanitarian committees all around the world. In the next report, we bring you a little about the history of this conflict. Take a look.
The attack on Israel by Hamas has left the world in shock and divided. In many across the Western and Arab world, thousands of people took to the streets to show their support for the Palestinian cause. Many also rallied behind the Hamas attack. Some have gone to the extent of saying that this assault was a long time coming. But war never begins overnight, and the week of brutal conflict is no exception to this rule. So the eternal question rises again: what triggered the attack on Israel? And another question: how far back does history go in one of West Asia's most volatile regions? In 1917, Britain conquered then Palestine and ruled the region for decades, till April of 1948. In 1939, Britain issued a white paper to declare the region as a quote-unquote bi-national state. What it means is that the region would be inhabited by both Jews and Arabs. This was the British mandate for Palestine, a document which opposed the creation of a separate state for Jews and Arabs. And now it is being blamed for triggering decades of volatility in the region. 9 years later, after the mandate and just a month after Britain pulled out of the region, the civil war between Israel and Arab nation turned into a full-blown war. Israel declared independence on May 14, 1948. The United Nations and several Western countries immediately recognized Israel as an independent nation. But what marked a day of independence for one was a day of calamity for another. May 14, 1948 is what Palestinians refer to as the Nakba, which translates to catastrophe. Since then, several reports and survivor accounts reveal horrifying details of Palestinian dispossession. During the Nakba between 1948 to 1950, Israel's military forces expelled at least 750,000 Palestinians from their homes. They captured more than 3/4 of the territory. The Palestine that was ceased to exist. What now remains of it is majorly the Palestinian settlement across the Gaza Strip, West Bank, and contested parts of Jerusalem. But the ouster of Palestinians from their homes did not end there. It only got worse. Israeli settlers forcibly took over the homes of Palestinian families in Gaza and East Jerusalem, a move ignored and often silently encouraged by the West. The visuals you see next form just one such case, capturing the story of what thousands of Palestinian families have endured.
You know this is not your house.
Yes, but if I go, you don't go back. So what's the problem? Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
But
It's easy to yell at me, but I didn't do this.
you are stealing my house.
And if I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it.
No one is allowed to steal it, ya ammi.
And unfortunately, that's not all. For years now, Israeli forces have controlled the flow of electricity, fuel, and food supplies into Gaza. The move snowballed into a major economic crisis for the Palestinian residents, at least those who survived countless raids by Israel over the years. The League of Arab States has deplored the brutality of war and has called for a dire need for dialogue.
What is needed is resurrecting a serious negotiation track based on the two-state solution with international support and reference to the United Nations resolutions to end occupation and establishing a Palestinian state on June 4, 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. We have seen Western viewpoints focusing on this war, and this event only, while avoiding talking about the reasons behind the current situation in Palestine. There is a need to return to real peace process that leads to the establishment of two states, coexisting in peace, safety, and stability.
The situation yet again has raised the same old concern. The world needs to pay attention and work towards a two-state solution. The history of what many Palestinians lament as systemic oppression has triggered a slew of clashes with residents in West Bank and Gaza on the losing end. And so the eternal question remains: till when will the world turn a blind eye to a history of despair and the Palestinians' call for getting their homes back?